strategies with Pig in terms of getting the money back is is a quote no budget film, but there's still a decent amount of money in there, and I I've been doing this a long time, and I know how hard it is to make a really good movie. And while we've set out to make a great movie, and we've set out to make an art film, which is a difficult kind of movie to sell, it's not a doesn't have a kind of built-in genre audience and that kind of a thing. My strategy is to say, how can I sell this movie even if it's not a good movie? Even if we don't end up making a good movie, we still need to get our money back. We're raising a little bit of money for finishing funds, and I don't want to rely on the fact that we make a great movie, that's the only way. And even when you do make a great movie, doesn't mean you're going to get your money back. So I've come up with this idea, or not it's not a theory, it's just the kind of reality that I'm starting to realize, is that there's an audience for your movie no matter how good your movie is. Studios know this because they make a lot of bad movies and they still sell a lot of tickets. But it's harder, I think, for independent filmmakers who are making kind of art films. When they don't get into Sundance and they don't achieve these certain kind of goals, they feel like, well, there's no one out there that will like their film. But if they're thinking in terms of the audience in these broad categories like art house audience, well, that's maybe true. An art house audience needs to see that you were in these festivals, needs to see certain awards and whatever. But that doesn't mean that there's not some other audience that won't appreciate what you've done. So kind of what John was saying about digging deeper in terms of who those audiences are. We've really made a point of thinking about who's going to like our film. Who's it talking to? What other films are similar to ours that people have liked, that have built kind of a rabid fan base, and we really had to dig into that. Our film is a mystery. Perhaps there's there are communities around mysteries that we haven't we haven't explored yet, that we can kind of dig into. The film is kind of a puzzle, to sense. I mean, narratively it's a puzzle. It's kind of a mind game film. So we thought, there's people who play games, who like puzzles. These might be people who like the film. So we're developing games and puzzles to put online before there's ever a film, and we're presenting a kind of I guess it's our brand. We're kind of presenting a look or whatever that says this is not, we're not making this easy for you. You go to our website and there's no, the name of the film is not on the website. We've got these symbols that are up that you have to kind of figure out. I mean, it's not that hard to figure out, but you have to kind of figure out. And everything is, the design of this kind of brand is that you have to kind of figure it out. And we have these little kind of marketing games and things like, we have a character in the film. The film's about a guy who wakes up in the middle of the desert, and his hands are tied behind his back, and he has a black hood on his head, and he doesn't have any idea how he got there or who he is. And when he finally gets his hands untied, he pulls out a piece of paper that has this name Manny Elder written on it. He doesn't know if he's Manny Elder, or if there's the guy that was trying to maybe kill him was Manny Elder, or what. But so we came up with this idea that we would make these little business cards that say Manny Elder on it, and that's all they say. And I've got them in my pocket. And basically make 10,000 of these and spread them all over the country, give them boxes of them to friends, and just put these little Manny Elder cards around. And this is what I call the long con. This is like an idea that may not bear any fruit at all, but it doesn't really cost anything, and it's kind of fun to do. And so, I don't know, 2 out of 100 pick up this card and maybe go, what is this? It doesn't have anything else written on it, and maybe they go home and maybe they look it up, and then we start planting this information on the internet. Fake Manny Elder information that's kind of weird and maybe doesn't quite add up, and it just starts to kind of create something around this one component of our film. And we feel like the people that do that, though, the people that don't just toss that card off, that actually go do that work, are going to like the movie because of the kind of movie it is and what what's going on in that film. That's our audience. I mean, we think the people that want to play these puzzles and games like that are people who are going to enjoy our film because it is a puzzle. Now, a lot of people won't like the film because it's a puzzle, because it's hard to understand what's going on or whatever. And so, those people, if they don't like the website, it's not such a horrible thing because maybe it wasn't the right film for them anyway. But we kind of feel like these other folks will kind of get into it, and it's just a kind of a way to kind of pull these people out from under the rocks, And we have a bunch of these kinds of ideas where you're trying to find a certain person who's interested in discovering, interested in kind of doing the extra research or figuring out something that's not spoon-fed to them, and it's just a kind of beginning of a process of thinking about who our audiences are and how we might be able to engage them in an interesting way. And it's, again, it's fun for us to do that, to kind of come up with these ideas.